maternity was handed over in Gokrial East County to Bush Maternal Health Care. Budi County locals in eastern Equatoria struggled to access a basic service after key bridge is moved. Mass of Christian Missionary Societies launch in Malakal to promote peace efforts. Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to SSBC News Live from Juba. I'm Suzanne Emiliano with the news in details. We begin our news with Cabinet Affairs Minister Dr. Martin Elia Lomuro echoing President Kiir's call for national unity and acceptance as a way to achieving peace and shared prosperity. Lomuro was speaking at the funeral prayers of Professor Engineer Benedict Lagu, the biological brother of Vice President Joseph Lagu, where he urges members of the Madi community to consult one another over the loss of a vibrant and respected member. SSBC's Peter Mori reports.
Addressing mourners at the funeral prayers for the soul of the late Professor Engineer Benedict Lagu, the National Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Dr. Martin Elia Lomuro, urges communities of South Sudan to unite and to live in peace with one another. He emphasizes on the need of communities consoling one another during times of difficulties.
I'm very encouraged by the spirit I see these days. Whenever there is a calamity, whenever there is death in any of the families, all the communities gather to support that family, irrespective of the tribe the family comes from. And I think this is the spirit of unity that we talk about, that we can console ourselves and solace ourselves. These people have gathered to give you support. We know it's painful, we know it's hard, but strengthen yourself so that you can strengthen the family of General Joseph Lagu.
Central Equatoria State Governor Rabbi Mojung Emmanuel says the death of Professor Benedict Lagu is not a loss to the family of Joseph Lagu alone, but to the entire nation. According to Governor Mojung, the late has left a big vacuum in the ICT sector.
We gather to honor and celebrate the life of a distinguished son of South Sudan. His passing is not only a loss to the family of retired General Joseph Lagu Yanga, but to the entire nation that benefited from his brilliance and unwavering commitment to the education and technological advancement. His leadership, humility, and education have left an enduring legacy in our higher education system.
Dr. James Wani Iga, the former Vice President of the Republic, appeals to the people of Madi still in refugee camps to return and build their home villages.
Ana der namulu appeal le nas pitana pitamadi al kam jere fi Uganda kande sabab kande ajusin alekum Allah belet pitar kum bega padi ya juma belet tamadi asa merepoinat wotiu ge siluke rajatakum billahi kali nas pitana mamutu kulu fi kenya juma asan kalam jan kali baginde ja yerja le belet pitamadi.
The Vice Chancellor of the University of Juba, Professor Robert Mayom Deng, says the institution has lost a great academician and a scientist.
As an institution, we have lost a great scientist, a great academician, and the loss is not only for the University of Juba, but the whole of our country. May God bless his soul and give courage to the family of our veteran person who showed us you can fight for your freedom. We started with Anyalewa.
The late Professor Benedict Lagu was the Dean of the School of Computer Science and Information Technology at the University of Juba. Peter Morijan.
As a source of inspiration and a reminder of the liberation struggle, many have praised the Speaker of Parliament, Gemma Nunukumba, following the successful launch of her new book titled The Art of Power. The book inspires both the young and old ones by highlighting the challenges and experiences encountered in the pursuit of liberation and nation building. SSBC's Bakita Quintit has more.
The Speaker of the Transitional National Legislative Assembly, Gemma Nunukumba, successfully launched her book titled The Art of Power in Juba on Saturday. The momentous occasion, attended by senior government officials, members of the diplomatic community, civil society organizations, national and international partners, and student representatives from various schools, aim to inspire and educate the public about the challenges and struggles encountered in the pursuit of liberation and nation building. In her keynote address, Speaker Nunu expressed her deep gratitude to His Excellency President Salva Kiir Mayardit for empowering her and for reaffirming the 35% affirmative action policy.
The Art of Power is a story of resilience, courage and hope. It begins with my upbringing as a little girl in a royal family, a title that carries both privilege and responsibility. Little did I know that my path would lead me to the heart of one of the most significant liberation movements in modern history, the SPLM-SPLA. I come from the royal family of the Zanta Kingdom, locally known as the Afuga, a privilege that was stripped from us when the kingdom was annihilated in 1905 by the British colonialists, after the killing of our king, Goodwill.
Guest Speaker Atonkwal Manyang, the Minister of Trade and Industry, described Speaker Nunu as an accomplished leader whose vast knowledge and multifaceted roles serve as a source of inspiration for both young and old.
Your book is really speaking to all of us, and I want you to know that you are a role model to many people, young girls you had earlier. Her book has inspired us, and we can only appreciate it if we also spread the word when we go out.
Ambassador Rine Buyala of Uganda congratulated Speaker Nunu for the successful launch.
Congratulate Right Honorable Dr. Princess Gemma Nunukumba and her family for this great milestone. Writing and publishing a purposeful book. I hope the book will act as a political and moral compass for nation building, state building, peace building, and socio-economic.
Dr. Faiso Kumba, representing the author's family, commented her resilience, determination, and visionary leadership in producing a book.
Power, the art of power, pursuing liberation and nation building. I really begin by thanking the Right Honorable very much for making that visual. And you have all mentioned, Right Honorable is one of the most powerful women in our country.
The book provides insights into the diverse pathways that women and men navigate in their pursuit of freedom, leadership, and national transformation. Reporting for SSBC, Bakita Kundigabie.
In Nairobi, South Sudan and Kenya have renewed their commitment to harmonizing the clearance and transportation of goods along transit roads of East African Community member states. The Minister of Transport, Rizk Zakaria Hassan, has been engaging with relevant authorities at the port of Mombasa to address challenges facing South Sudanese traders. From Kenya, Port City of Mombasa, SSBC's Martin Justin has more.
The Minister of Transport, Rizk Zakaria Hassan, and his accompanying delegation cautioned business members against dealing with the so-called proxy and direct them to deal directly with the registered clearance companies. The visit covered LPC Global Logistics, Compact, Autoport, and the National Revenue Office. Minister Rizk briefed the National Revenue Officers on the efforts to alleviate the suffering of the people of South Sudan through simplified approach. The Assistant Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority for Mombasa Operations, Bolis Makir, urged South Sudanese importers to maintain flow of communication before the arrival of the goods to the port.
So we urge you, if you are importing goods to South Sudan, please deal with the company which are registered as a clearance agent and then send the money through the bank.
In the same context, the Minister of Transport, accompanied by the Deputy Ambassador of South Sudan to Kenya, visited the General Secretariat of the Northern Corridor and received an enlightenment on the activities of the Northern Corridor in promoting trade and transport, strengthening and building infrastructure and capacity building. Minister Rizk asked Northern Corridor management to speedily confront the challenges facing South Sudan and the region.
What is needed for us, it should be the paperwork, the feasibility studies when we talk about railway in South Sudan. Develop master plans for the sectors, railways, air transports, river transports. We should address those things from professional backing point of view, and we're expecting your support in those areas.
The Northern Corridor believes that South Sudan should expedite the signing of the Unified Custom Protocols and strengthen relations with the countries of the region. The Secretary General of the Northern Corridor, Dr. Joe Deng, pledged to provide the necessary support to South Sudan.
We even met the shipping line to try to understand what is it that South Sudan needs to do for the cost to be driven down. And they have always come back to one thing. If you actually streamline your automation processes, so that clearance process is made easier, then the containers can be released earlier and come back earlier.
It is worth mentioning here that the visit of the Minister of Transport and his accompanying delegation has achieved its task, notably the pledge of the Maritime Authority and other Kenyan authorities concerning the reducing of the containers' deposit fees and the increase of the grazing period. Martin Justin Paul Kose, SSBC, Mombasa, Kenya.
And now to Berlin in South American country of Brazil, where the government delegation led by the Minister of Environment and Forestry, Joseph Cosmos Nafon, has called for a stronger international action to address the worsening climate crisis. He's speaking at the 2025 Climate Change Summit in Brazil. Minister Nafon urges the global community to take urgent steps to combat the growing impacts of climate change.
The successful implementation of the NDCs for countries such as South Sudan is heavily reliant on access to predictable and sufficient climate finance. We advocate that the new collective quantified goal currently under negotiation be ambitious, needs-based, and grant-oriented. It should include clear pathways for direct access for least developed countries and states experiencing fragility. For South Sudan, the upcoming decade must concentrate on translating NDCs into specific finance actions on the ground, empowering communities with resources and knowledge to adapt and prosper, ensuring that climate finance is directed promptly, equitable, and effectively to those most in need. In conclusion, South Sudan reaffirms its commitment to the Paris Agreement and to collaborative climate action grounded in equity, solidarity, and shared responsibility. We call upon the international community to align ambition with substantive financial resources, technological support, and genuine partnerships to ensure that the spirit of the Paris Agreement continues to.
We cross over to Malakal, the capital of Upper Nile State, where the Archbishop of Juba Catholic Archdiocese, His Eminence Cardinal Dr. Stephen Ameyo Martin Muller, has reiterated to the people of Upper Nile the importance of upholding the spirit of peace and reconciliation and rejecting tribalism. Ameyo made the remarks during his address at the inaugural Mass of the Christian Missionary Societies of the Malakal Catholic Diocese on Sunday. The National Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, Onyoti Adigo-Nyikwach, affirmed the government's determination to advance the peace process.
نحن ككنيسة بنصلي لأجل كل حكومة بتاعنا، كل وزراء، كل أولاء، كل ناس الموصولين عشان ربنا يغير قلوبنا.
نغير وضع كيفية أننا ممكن نعيش مع بعض. ده أهم شيء. Putting your hands together and work as a team. Because لأنه نورا وما يكون حاكم بدانويس، وحاكم بداشلو، ونور ودينكا ومابان كل الناس موجودين حاكم بتاعهم.
It is a collective responsibility from all of us as the citizens. When we secure our town, we will have a peace. When we have a peace, we will have a development. And above all this, forgiveness. Let us forgive ourselves.
Delegates from various public institutions attending the Gender Equality Follow-up and Tracking Program on the implementation of the 35% female gender quota in public administration have recommended equality, non-discrimination, fairness, justice and inclusion as key drivers for achieving gender balance in South Sudan's public and private sectors.
To achieving gender equality in public administration is the core value to socio-economic development resulting from providing equal opportunities in all sectors and at all levels of decision-making. The Undersecretary in the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Esther Ekeri Eluzaya, urged gender focal person to note that achieving the goal involves recognizing different circumstances, targeting interventions to achieve equitable outcomes.
Recognize your role as active agents of promoting gender equality in South Sudan. And when we talk and when we dialogue, we also understand the perspective of where you came from. And it will take time to be transformed. It will take time to change the mindset, to change the attitude of working with women. But we want to put you on the context. So today, when I look at you as national champions. I don't look at you as men who are outside this.
The director of National Transformational Leadership Institute at the University of Juba, Angelina Bazukba, urged the public institution should account for progress on gender equality, which called for transparent data collection and analysis to track progress, identify gaps, and inform policy decisions.
Study helped us to really know where we are, and we can actually stand forth and be able to say, this is what we have. Again, we realize that having policies and legal framework is one thing, implementation is another. But again, enforcement is yet another hurdle.
Some participants recommend that there is need to inclusive public administration to reflect the diversity of the population in service, including women who face multiple forms of discrimination.
If we say no, then you have to listen to, because they are culture also. Their culture, their practices, some of them they will say that, okay, well, you are not the one who made this.
Access the assistance that they need, all the way from the level of humanitarian to basic services, water, education.
Al-Musawi, Mazoji, who comes a year, when they join party will be good leader.
Achieving gender equality in public administration requires protective measures to remove systematic barriers, penalize harassment, and ensure a safe.
Turning our attention to the medical sector in Warapi State, a new maternity ward has been unveiled in Gokial East at Matiel Primary Health Care Unit, marking a significant milestone in maternal health care unit. The essential facility, developed through the collaborative efforts of the Youth Association of the Boyar section of the Apuk Lith community, the United Nations mission in South Sudan, and various partners, was officially handed over to the State Health Authority. The handover ceremony was witnessed by the acting state governor, Alwel Garang, who expressed her heartfelt gratitude to UNMISS and its partners. Locals in Budi County are facing difficulties in accessing basic services as a key bridge has been ruined, making the movement of people and goods impossible. The governor of Eastern Equatorial State, Louis Lobong Lojore, visited the site with the Rhino Easter construction team to assess the possibility of renovation. Governor Lobong emphasized that the bridge is a crucial piece of infrastructure as the river has long hindered the people of Budi County.
We have to sacrifice the little resources that we have to make this bridge so that the people of Budi be able to get the vital services they need. لأنه ده هوسك براو والفيد so نجينا نشوفنا ده الكو alternative في كان كان عملنا حكومة بتاع Eastern Equatorial كان بعد من ده and we handed somewhere وحصل ده according to attempt ده كده ما بيستقل تاني إذا نعمل بريد في المحل ده
ونندر ولا جنوبين دي على الشارع نندر دي تابع أنا شوف دمياء وشوف دمياء كنا مل كمبرجم وده مراد تأس كله بمن داك نكان جنوبين واي بعد ياودي شوف دمياء وده نجادي لما ما governor to support وده شوف لكم جنوب السودان كان بامون.
And this is the end of the cry of the people of Budi County. My brother attempt, we are much happy. I'm sure the people of Budi County will be very happy. Will be very happy to hear Governor has reached Parakseka and attempt has reached Parakseka, and sooner or later this is going to be a great.
Authorities in Western Bahr al-Ghazal state have signed an agreement with Ayat Roads and Bridges Company to rehabilitate and maintain Sita Bridge and the Al Jazeera Residential Area Bridge in a deal worth over $343,000. The ceremony held at the General Secretariat was attended by State Governor Sharif Daniel and government officials. Tito Gabriel Akol, Director General of the Ministry of Roads and Bridges, signed on behalf of the government, while Hisham Ad-Din Hassan signed for the company. Governor Sharif stressed the government's commitment to implementing vital projects despite economic challenges.
احنا بنأكد للمجتمع بتاعنا وللشعب بتاعنا في غرب بحر الغزال ان احنا رغم الظروف المعروفه على مستوى بتاعت الدوله اننا كحكومه هنضيف مع المواطن البسيطه اللي احنا بنقدر نقدمها. احنا عارفين في كباري كتير وفي طرق كتير عايزه شغل. لكن على المذكره اللي رفعه الوزير بتاعت الطرق والجسور انه الكباري الاثنين دول هم من اهم الكباري، عشان كده نحن بدينا بيه ونحن ما حنجيب وبنعمل اللي علينا كعمدارة، وبرضه هي لها دور كبير في الولايه بتاع غرب بحر الغزال، وهي اشتغلت شغل كتير هنا.
عشان كوبري 6 وكوبري الجزيره التكلفه بتاعته الكليه لتنفيذ المشروع ده 343,461 دولار. والأولوية لأنه هو زي ما ذكر المحدثين قبلي بيربط جزء من المدينة ببعض المناطق الحيوية وهي منفذ للأمن أيضا، وده راح يساعدنا كثير.
كل شركة دائرة تطلب الوصول كشركة رائدة عمل تطلب الوصول لا يسألنا إلا نقول بكل التفاصيل من الحاجات جاهزين.
And lastly, in a move to boost sports activities, Western Equatorial State authorities, in partnership with the United Nations Mission in South Sudan, UNMISS, have launched the rehabilitation of Budwe Stadium in Yambio. The project aims to promote sports, youth empowerment, and peace building across the state. Deputy Governor Justin Joseph Marona described the rehabilitation as a milestone for sports unity and social cohesion. And that story brings us to the end of our news. Please stay tuned for the rest of our ongoing programs. I'm Suzanne Emiliano on behalf of my team. Thank you so much for joining us.